We are going to start with our 2019-2020 New Educator of the Year Award, and I am going to read the submitted nominations for our winner. This teacher came to us at TC Howe with the endless burning drive to serve our students. She has sustained that passion from August through all of semester 1, and even during remote teaching. Every time you entered her classroom, it was and is filled with life, highest academic expectations, constant student engagement, all rooted in strong relationships, and the selfless love she has for all her students. We entered this middle school year with only 3 returning teachers, and this teacher jumped right into building a middle school team that puts students first while doing what's right by them. She constantly refines and reflects on her practices to be a better educator. I've had the luxury of watching this teacher grow and continually fight to give all her students the best education possible. There have been countless conversations about how she can be better for her students. Every interaction, conversation, and question, she has always had the intention of doing what is right for our students. Her high level of perfection, professionalism, and heart is the model of what all first year and all educators should be. It has been an absolute honor to work alongside her. This teacher showed great creativity in her planning, and it showed by having an amazing class activities and phenomenal classroom control. Even when things got extremely tough second semester, she never let that get her down and brought great energy for the students every day. This teacher has shown steadfast commitment to pushing the possibilities that students can achieve within her middle school classroom. On a middle school team where the collective years of experience can probably be counted on 2 hands, she has not used this as an excuse. Moreover, her involvement in the academic and professional discussions about opportunities to leverage skilled teachers within the building to inform her lesson planning is an ideal example of what a growth mindset looks like. I remembered being thoroughly impressed with the engagement and actualization of her Letters from Birmingham lesson, in which the student engagement was a premier showcase for educators to see. She speaks of students with a kind and supportive heart, while not expecting less than their best. She pursues opportunities to push her own professional boundaries. She is everything I wanted to be as a first-year teacher. Not only that, she has experienced this success with the absolute roller coaster and whirlwind of unexpected politics at play. Simply put, she is a gem of highest value. This teacher has been one of the most committed and hardworking first-year teachers I have seen in my time at Howe. She goes above and beyond for students and is always striving to be a better teacher than she was the day before. She asks for advice, she learns from mistakes, and consistently demonstrates the kind of growth mindset required of first-year teachers. She is a team player who always meets deadlines, completes excellent lesson plans, and helps other teachers with planning for their classes. She has achieved results with students on testing and iReady this year and works hard to provide engaging lessons that motivate students to want to learn. She's established relationships with students grounded in mutual respect and has continued to build relationships through incredible e-learning communication. Congratulations to the TC Howe 2019-20 New Educator of the Year, Miss Elise Woods. Next, we will give our 2019-2020 Teacher of the Year Award, and I will read the nominations for our winner. This teacher has demonstrated compassionate, responsive leadership among the middle school team. Most of our staff consists of first-year teachers, and this teacher leads with incredible kindness among staff and students. She demonstrates an abundance of knowledge for how to engage students both academically and socially in the classroom, from math games to level up challenges to Raffle Friday. She even adopted a class pet to inspire students during a project. Students excel under her mentorship, and after school, students often return to her classroom just to spend time with her. She frequently reflects on our school practices and advocates for her colleagues and students. Every week, she selflessly walks me through the math success lessons, often sacrificing her own lunch break to ensure my understanding. She is a gifted educator and a gift to have as a colleague. Her genuine heart, selfless commitment, and Howe spirit shines each day. I am incredibly grateful to her as she has helped me grow as an educator and person over the year. This teacher is the first educator in our building that I think of when I imagine a spirit of a warrior. She has absolutely swept up the pieces of a difficult role during a difficult time and a difficult transition. As a third-year teacher, she was asked to lead a middle school team. This was a daunting task to surmount, and she has exceeded expectation, thrived, and been a pillar of stability and trust for students and educators in our middle school and community. When ambitious-minded people are given a great challenge, there is impending sink or swim, and oftentimes the sink is more likely when you have to navigate unknown territory. This teacher has demonstrated a critical competency of servant leadership that is knowing when to step up and balancing that with effective coworker partnerships. This is just a sliver of the greatness she has demonstrated this year. Her no excuses commitment to students is a model mindset and translates into classroom practice that produces uncommon results. Many students speak positively of the flow and joy of her classroom. Not a moment is wasted, and students actively push their cognitive barriers with the careful structures she has put in place. She has taken on the mindset and care that her mentors have exemplified for her. Beyond that, she still shows a commitment to learning by becoming involved in educational policy and helping lead a fight for our deserving students and teachers for years to come. This teacher was the gold standard for all new and returning teachers. She pushed all of her students to academic successes, celebrated all of their accomplishments, and built a culture with the highest academic expectations. Every moment of her classroom was filled with students doing the most because they understood that she loved them and that every student has the capacity for academic greatness. Her corny math puns and awful jokes built a classroom culture surrounded with joy, laughter, and proof that she values every student for who they are as individuals. Daily, you see her giving up her time to support individual teachers, the middle school team, parents, guardians, and school leadership. She constantly goes out of her way to support her fellow staff because she knows at the end of the day it is for the students. During her prep, she gives up time for her fellow middle school teachers to counsel, process, reflect, support, plan, and everything else to help build capacity for the middle school team. On top of all of this, she is constantly seeking advice and opportunities to grow in her own practices as an educator and leader. She frequently asks questions for improving practices, environment, procedures, and simply to better herself daily. I have never worked with someone with as much tenacity as her. Her work ethic, passion, and selflessness has made her into a teacher that is worthy of Teacher of the Year and much more. Middle school needs a champion. And if that isn't this teacher, then you don't know enough about all of the behind-the-scenes work she has done for her kids. She threw herself into leadership last year, but truly grew into the role and made it her own this year. After preparing for months and having a huge wrench thrown into her plans, she stepped up to the plate and took over as the middle school lead. She took on new projects, plans, curriculum, discipline, and activities not because she felt she had to, but because she is the biggest supporter of her students. You can find her at every game, every activity, every dance. If there is a middle school student who needs supported, you bet they go to her. She is an excellent teacher and is usually everyone's favorite. No, seriously, ask any student that she has had and I promise they will all agree. She's inviting, allows fun noise, embraces the chaos that is prepubescent preteens in a tiny space for 2 hours, and magically turns it into high-achieving scholars who are excited about math. I cannot say enough about how underappreciated I think she is and how underappreciated middle school is as a whole. She has changed so many lives. She is one of the best teachers I know. Congratulations to the TC Howe 2019-20 Teacher of the Year, Miss Sarah Medby. Our final award is the 2019-2020 Award of Excellence. And here are the nominations for our winner. We are so lucky to have this person as a campus monitor. Though he mostly works in the middle school, I have had the pleasure of working with him in the 10 through 12 hallways several times. I am consistently amazed by his ability to approach even the most heated student calmly. He has respectful, impactful conversations with students, and they come back to class ready to be their best versions of themselves. He not only brings a calmness to his work with students, but also his work with other adults. As a classroom teacher, it can be very overwhelming when a student who is unable to control their emotions. With 20 to 30 other students in the room, it is natural to begin to feel overwhelmed. Every time he comes to my classroom during one of those times, he has not only worked with the student calmly, but has always given me a word of calm encouragement, which I have been so grateful for. He stops by classrooms regularly just to check in, even if we didn't call for him, and has built authentic relationships with students that impact them so positively. There is one student I have had for 2 years in a row, and she often puts her head down and refuses to engage. This year on her tough days, she asked to go speak to him and came back ready to learn. He absolutely deserves this award, and I'm so grateful to have worked with him the past year. This person has been an incredible asset to the middle school team this year. He always has teachers' backs and is a team player when it comes to both discipline and academics with students. Students are always receptive to restorative chats with him because they respect and love him. He goes above and beyond his daily responsibilities without ever being asked. Whether it is staying after school to work with students on robotics projects or covering a teacher's classroom when they are running late or are absent, he is the type of person to think outside of the box of what more can we do to help students or make them happy. He is the type of a person to leave a snack on a teacher's desk when they are having a bad day. While students are e-learning, he is calling them to check in on them and their mental health because he cares. He is respected by all teachers and staff and will sit down with you to offer advice or just listen as a friend, to vent when times are tough. He is more than a colleague. He is a friend to many. This person is an incredible leader among students and teachers. He leads by example, welcoming others with an open heart and mind. Students and teachers alike seek his wisdom and warmth. He encourages students to be their best selves through reflection and an insightful conversation. As a teacher, he has helped me develop relationships with students has helped me overcome days that have felt impossible. He comes to school early, often with a student at his side, and stays late to talk with whoever needs a listening ear. I deeply admire his courage and commitment to our community, and I am incredibly grateful for the time that I've worked with him. Congratulations to our 2019-20 Award of Excellence winner, Mr. Charles Jackson.